this another fresh edition of the agenda coming to you from the Metropolitan Archdiocese of Douala here in the economic capital. My name is Lasha Kingsley and this is the agenda. Today our focus is school resumption in Cameroon. We will be receiving His Eminence Christian Cardinal Ntoumé, retired Archbishop of the Douala Metropolitan Archdiocese here in the economic capital. I will be right back. Your Eminence Christian Cardinal Ntoumé, thanks so much for accepting once again to be guest on our program.
You're always welcome.
Your Eminence, school resumes in Cameroon. That's the academic year 2019-2020 resumes in a week. And you were seen recently at Salle des Fêtes Aqua launching a campaign for back to school and peace in Cameroon alongside Jean-Jacques Ekindi, which you say you are going to fully start the peace crusade come August 29. Your Eminence, can you help me understand the difference between this peace movement and the Anglophone General Conference?
The peace movement and the Anglophone meeting we are preparing for are two absolutely different things. The peace movement we are launching in Douala concerns the whole nation. But the Anglophone movement we are preparing for the conference concerns only the English-speaking part of the country. So, and we are preparing a document to inform the head of state of what is truly taking place in the English-speaking part of the country. So it has absolutely nothing to do with the peace movement. The peace movement concerns all Cameroonians who will prefer to see that peace reigns everywhere in our country. But the problems of the English-speaking part of the country are specifically different from what the peace movement is all about. They are two different things.
Many people have argued that you are skipping steps. You have abandoned the AGC. If not, you should have first of all brought the Anglophones together before getting into a national dialogue, another peace movement that has to do with national dialogue.
We are not on a national dialogue. Yet, it's not us to call the national dialogue.
So what are you actually doing with Jean-Jacques Ekindi?
Peace and peace campaign for children to go back to school. Nothing else. Nothing else.
Your Eminence, the separatist leaders abroad have launched a campaign of 3 weeks lockdown in a bid to frustrate the resumption of the 2019-2020 school year.
And I think there they are wrong.
Let me quote what you said at Salle des Fêtes Aqua
Yes.
on the 21st of August. You said, if guns do not stop being fired, there will be no going back to school in the northwest and the southwest regions of the country. Peace is capital for going back to school. This is a conviction I hold very strongly. End of quote. To the military, you equally said that they should hold back their arms but should remain in their camps, while to the Amber boys, you said they should drop their arms.
Yes.
Is this not double standard and
Not
controversial coming from a figure like you?
You cannot imagine an army without arms. Nowhere in the world. You cannot imagine an army without arms. They must have arms to be ready to defend the nation. Any other person, any other citizen has arms with the authorization of the state. No other person is allowed to have arms. To do what with them? You cannot imagine an army without arms. If we are attacked, what happens? By a foreign enemy. The army is there to fight a foreign enemy. So the army must have arms.
But in this case, the war is internal.
The use is another story. You must make distinctions. To have arms and to use the arms.
So are you saying the military are not using the arm correctly?
Yes. There are cases where they have military. The army has killed people, innocent people. That is condemnable. The arms are not for that. It's the misuse of arms. They should have. So there's no contradiction anywhere there. It's not double, no. The Amba boys have no right to have arms.
But they say they are defending themselves.
Well, if you are defending yourself, or I get authorization to have the arms. There's no Cameroonian to defend himself. He should call to the authorities, military authorities, to defend him. If I am attacked, I call the police, I call the gendarme, I call them to defend me. I do not defend myself. I cannot do it. I have not the capacity to do it. So if you are attacked innocently, you call the army. The army is there to defend us, each and every one of us.
So the problem of the worries of many now is the ongoing armed conflict. Yet school is 1 week away.
Yes. That's the pity of it all. As the bishop said, well, I hope you have read the letter of the bishops of the ecclesiastical province of Bamenda. Many television channels have been commenting on that, positively. They condemn all arms, the misuse of arms, whether it is from the side of the Amba boys or from the side of the army.
So how do we get out of this situation now?
Well, the government, the head of state, everybody is turning to him. The army should get out of the streets and from the villages. If the children see the army around the street, they cannot go to school. The problem now is that everybody is afraid. The fear that has gotten hold of the people, that's the problem.
So how do we get out of the fear?
Well, we come out of drop the arms.
Because so many calls coming from the civil society organizations, you have peace movements, that of Jean-Jacques Kindi and the AGC, for Ambas to stop firing, drop their weapons, but nothing has been done.
Well, what should be done? The army should, it is the military, is the authority that should give the instructions. I'm sure that if the president says today, arms down from the side of the army, the Amba boys will also put down their so-called arms.
Many will argue that will give an upper hand to the Amba boys to declare their independence now. We've had cases of them hoisting their flags.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. The Amba, if the military wanted to destroy the Amba boys and their camps, they would have done so long ago. I think they are afraid of international opinion, that's all. They have the means. The Amba boys have not got the means to face the army of a nation. From where do they get the arms? They don't have the arms.
We have their leaders abroad who are calling every day. We see them on television.
Who are their leaders? We sent a mission there. We didn't see any leader. They are fighting for themselves. They are no leaders.
We have Cho Ayaba, who has made himself the commander-in-chief.
What army, what they thought they would be helped by America and Europe. There's no help for them from those people. From where do they get the money? They don't have the money. Some of them are looking for jobs. They don't have the money to send a whole army. They told me 2 years ago that in 1 year they would take over power. Where are they? Let them face the truth.
And what is the truth?
The truth is that they don't have the means for their policy. They don't have the means to take over militarily. They don't have the means to take over any part of the country militarily. They don't have it. That's the truth. They don't have the means.
So
they said they would introduce a system of education, as the bishop said in their letter. You know, they deceived the people.
For 3 years and running.
3 years running, they said they will introduce another system of education. Where is the system of education?
But you may want to agree with me that their disturbances created an untold sufferings on the people.
To their own people.
In the northwest and the south, as well as the economy of the country.
They have become enemies of their people. Why kidnap the bishops? Why kidnap the priests? Innocent people. Because they have nothing to eat. When I went to Kumu the other time, the bishop of Kumu gave about to 20 Amba boys 1,000, and they were rejoicing. 1,000. They have nothing. The people who were supported them, even with food, have all run this way. They have become as poor as a church rat. They cannot face the army.
Many people believe that they don't longer take instructions from those based abroad.
They take instructions from who? Nobody knows.
So why is the lockdown being imposed? Why are they respecting the lockdown?
The lockdown, who? And it suffices. If you go to a school, it suffices for anybody to fire the gun and the children run away. Who is he who fires the gun? They are divided. Divided we fall. That's a sign of a fall, if they are divided into small groups.
Those who wanted you to come to abroad and have a talk with them, which you send your coordinator, Mr. Eli Smith, do you mean to tell me that those people, they were not leaders enough to...
No, they are not leaders.
To sit on the dialogue table?
No, they are not leaders. We don't know them. We sent a mission to America to meet them and to Europe. The conclusion of our mission was that they are not politicians. Everyone is thinking of himself or herself. I ended my studies in Europe or America, came home, nobody employed me. This one deceived me, that one did. When they are appointing ministers, they don't think of us. They are thinking of themselves.
So those are the kind of reasons they advanced?
Yes. That's in the report we got from our mission that was sent to you. Who is the leader? The money they collected there, they were fighting for the money. They were divided over it. We also got report from those who are not Amba boys, but who were contributing because they were afraid. There's something, if they don't do some harm to you, they do harm to your relative back home. You know, with the Amba boys, I told one I know who is in Italy, I said, I do not agree with you people for two things. You are intolerant. An intellectual is tolerant. You listen to the other person and tell the person, on this point I agree with you, on that no, for these reasons. But they want somebody does not agree with them, he is condemned to death. And I told one of them, if you people take over power now, you will be worse than Hitler. You will be worse than Hitler because you are not ready to dialogue with anybody. You are not ready to face a contradictory opinion. You know, they are not really quite a number. One came here to see me, a number boy. You say he's there controlling around Boya. This boy prayed me, asked me, please talk to me in Pidgin. I didn't go to school. How can such a person know the value of going to school, of schooling, of education? They are destroying the youth of tomorrow in the English-speaking part of the country. They are destroying the youth, the future of the youth, because they themselves have no future. Those who are in the forest, those who are running up and down, kidnapping people, they have no future.
You may also want to agree with me, like what many other people are saying, that the government too is contributing largely to what is happening in the two English-speaking regions of the country, with the recent sentencing of Ayub Tabe and his cabinet.
I am not supporting the
to
government.
Life imprisonment at the eve of school resumption.
Well, we can say what we like. Well, they assume the responsibility. The tribunal judge him. They judge according to the laws and with their consciences. And they will answer for it before God. If they didn't judge according to the laws of the country and their consciences, they will answer for it. God is the only true judge who knows the hearts of men. We can make a mistake in judgment. Man is not perfect. You can make mistake in judgment. But I think they said here they were judged according to the laws of the country. So I don't judge them for what they did. All I ask myself is, looking at the present situation of the country, sentencing this man to life imprisonment, or was it proper to do it now? Everybody has his own opinion. Some say,
What is your own opinion
my own opinion?
as to the sentencing?
Well, the sentence is the time, but there is no time for sentencing somebody to punishment. There's no particular time. But if they judge that, well, they are independent. They judge any time. It doesn't matter what's happening. It's there to answer for it.
Many are equally advancing or saying that your AGC has not held because the government has not given you that authorization. So
No,
where are we now with the AGC?
That is not true. We are advancing very well. We have produced a document of 400 pages. People don't know. We have summarized it. And we'll soon be holding our ANGs. For various reasons, we couldn't hold it, propose it to the people now. But we'll soon do so. We are not sleeping. We have summarized the document of 400 to 8 pages. And we'll give it to the people. They will get it. The Prime Minister has it now. We have given him, we went to see him about 2 weeks ago.
So what has been his own opinion to your gathering?
Well,
some people even think your gathering is illegal, that you making statement with an illegal gathering, that you don't have authorization, the AGC is not registered. And
it's not a register, it's a group of religious leaders. It's a group of religious leaders, it's not a movement.
And some people think that you need an authorization to be able to make statements or issue statements.
I need to talk, to express my opinion to the press. I don't think so. that I need that I need authorization from who?
For the gathering. For the gathering, the AGC.
That's why we asked, according to the law, we have done so well. We have done so. It's they who are afraid to take position. Those who have the right and the duty, they have not said no, they have not said yes. We can go ahead if you want it.
But you need security. If you go ahead without the people who have the moral obligation or the security to be able to support you during the holding of your meeting.
What do you know how many people we assemble here every January? 11,000. Without any security.
But the AGC will be holding in either in Bamenda or in Buea.
And so what?
With the prevailing security situation.
It can be held here in Douala. Can be held in Yaoundé. Provided it is the Anglophones who are, trying to say what they think, what should be done. As I said, the summary of the questionnaire we sent, of the results of the questionnaire we sent out, are already with the Prime Minister. Our meeting is to send this document to the head of state, the president. And once we do that, our work is finished. We are not trying to intervene, to preside the dialogue or to negotiate between the government and the Amba Boys. That's not our work. We are causes of this problem, socio-economic problem, propositions for solutions. That's what we're doing. And when we do it, we send it to the president. It is left to him to do what he wants with it.
Are you convinced that the document will reach the president?
Yes. It has reached the Prime Minister. If it has reached the Prime Minister, it will reach the president. We know how to send documents to the president directly. And I have done that quite a number of times.
Your Eminence, many people want to know from a prominent figure like you, have you had the opportunity or request to meet the President of the Republic ever since this conflict went military?
Of course, I have asked for audience with the President himself. While he could not receive me, his Chief of Cabinet received me.
Was the meeting fruitful? What did you tell him?
I don't know what the fruitfulness what
I mean, met your objective, what you wanted to see the president and discuss with the president.
That I would have loved to meet him face to face.
Don't you have the impression that somebody is blocking you somewhere from seeing the president?
I don't suspect anybody, because I've been seeing the president. It's not the first time I'm trying to see him. I've been seeing him. He has been receiving me. Just two of us in his office. And I tell him what I think.
Why can't you place a call to him probably? To get to him directly? Probably there's somebody.
I don't have his telephone number. If I had it, I would call him. You cannot call somebody whose telephone number you don't have.
That sounds funny. Yeah. Anyway, Your Eminence, what is your last word to the Amba Boys as regards school resumption?
School resumption, let them not instill fear in the hearts of parents and children. Let them leave them to go. Otherwise, they are fighting against themselves. What is a nation without educated people? That's why they're formed. Amba Boys should put down. They are illegally carrying arms. They should accept that. Not that I'm supporting the government, not at all. The government think I'm supporting the Amba Boys. The Amba Boys think that I'm supporting the government. So therefore I am neutral. I'm neutral. When I keep repeating, when I was ordained priest, I took 3 decisions in 1966 to obey my bishop. Wherever he sent me, I would go. In the bush or in the town, I will go without questioning it. Secondly, I will never, when I'm preaching in a church, attack anybody from the pulpit. I attack you when we're sitting face to face so that you will have the opportunity to defend yourself, you know. And then, thirdly, I will never take part, I will never accept the invitation of any political party. Because when we were ordained, there was multi-partyism in the English-speaking party, English-speaking part of the country. And I've been faithful to those 3. Nobody can accuse me in this country that I'm a member of that party. Or the other day I was listening at the television, still a television channel, where they were arguing, is Cardinal Atumi neutral? Somebody said Cardinal Atumi is not neutral. And the other one asked him, he belongs therefore to which party? So the other man said, you don't need to belong to a party to be, you know, to be neutral. No, nobody can say Cardinal Atumi belongs to this party. But the truth can come even from the devil. See my point? But we should learn to make distinctions. No, there's nobody who cannot speak the truth.
But why are they not speaking the truth in the faces of injustice?
Well, man is weak. There's such a sin as telling lies. Telling a lie means that what you are saying does not correspond with what you are thinking. Saying the truth means that what you are saying corresponds, is the verbal expression of your thought. That's the truth. The agreement between what you are saying and what you are thinking. Otherwise, you are telling a lie. Man is capable of sinning, therefore capable of telling a lie. We're weak.
To the government, what is your last word on school resumption? To the government. What are you telling the government as regards school resumption?
The government led the army back to no firing anywhere. Let the children not see the military people around the school. You know, there was a small child here in the cathedral. The mother was working at the father's house at the cathedral. This child was less than 4 years old. And he called himself my friend. Say, Bishop, I'll be your friend. Je suis votre ami. So I am absent from here, as usually I did in January, on holiday in the village. When I came back, this child asked me, where were you? I told this small child of less than 4 that I went to see my mother. Your father, what a peril about see? When I told the child that my father is dead, you know what this child asked? Was he killed by the army? You see, what a child of less than 4 years old, the idea he has of the police.
The army is negative.
He wants to become a priest. He's in a seminary. He was in a seminary. So he told me he is in class 3 now in a secondary school in Douala. He told me, I asked him, do you still want to become a priest? He said, no. So I asked, why? He said he does not want to be killed
by the military.
This was after the death of the Bishop of Bafia. You see, the ideas were sowing in the minds of kids, children of the army. The relationship between the army and the ordinary man in the English speech is one of hatred. The problem is how to cure those hearts that have been wounded. But in what concerns the schools, the bishops of the ecclesiastical province of Bamina have said all.
Your Eminence Christian Cardinal Ntumi, retired Archbishop of the Metropolitan Archdiocese of Douala. It was a pleasure having you on the agenda. Thank you so much.
And thank you for giving me the occasion to tell you what I think about what is happening. But let the people know that if there is anything, any organization organizing anything about peace, we're interested in it because that's our ultimate aim, peace. So let them not be surprised to see me
Thank you so much.
with the others.